Jenna Hager walked onto the Kelly Clarkson show set expecting laughter, light banter, and the usual glow of daytime television. The lights were bright, the audience eager, and Kelly Clarkson, America's sweetheart and powerhouse voice, ready with her trademark warmth. What was supposed to be another cheerful episode turned, within minutes, into a storm of words, emotions, and clashing worldviews. By the end of the taping, Jenna was no longer seated beside Kelly. She was gone, escorted off the set after an exchange that has since been described as one of the most shocking moments in recent daytime TV history. The beginning was harmless enough. Kelly opened up about the weight she carries, juggling her career as a talk show host, a musician, and perhaps most importantly, a single mother. She spoke honestly about divorce, about nights when exhaustion feels like gravity, and about the unrelenting pressure of being a public figure who still has to pack lunches and read bedtime stories. Her words had that mix of vulnerability and resilience that has made her so beloved. But then came Jenna's reply. The daughter of a former U.S. president, an author, and co-host of NBC's Today with Hoda and Jenna, Jenna has carved out her own public identity. She leaned in, smiling but firm, and pointed out that not everyone has the safety nets celebrities enjoy. For countless women, she said, the struggle is the same, or worse, but without the wealth, resources, and staff to help balance the load. The remark, though not inherently hostile, hung in the air like a spark waiting to ignite. Kelly bristled. The audience sensed the shift immediately. What was supposed to be a casual discussion turned sharper. Kelly defended her experience, Jenna pressed harder on her point, and soon voices overlapped. The smiles grew tighter, the laughter faded, and what was meant to be television comfort food morphed into something raw and unscripted. When the cameras cut to a commercial break, the tension followed backstage. Crew members moved quickly, attempting to smooth things over. But the disagreement had already crossed a line. According to witnesses, Jenna continued challenging Kelly, insisting that her comments were being misunderstood. Kelly, visibly frustrated, stood her ground. One production assistant later described the moment as chaotic, like the air had been sucked out of the room. Producers, realizing the interview had spiraled beyond repair, made the drastic decision. Jenna had to leave. The studio audience sat in stunned silence as whispers rippled through the rows. People had come for music, laughter, and inspiration, but they got something else entirely. A confrontation that felt more like a private argument than a television interview. Some attendees later rushed to social media, divided in their loyalties. Kelly was professional, she tried to keep it together, one wrote. Another insisted. Jenna wasn't wrong. She just said what needed to be said. The shock was amplified because the two women have long shared mutual respect. Jenna has praised Kelly's authenticity and musical talent, while Kelly has spoken warmly of Jenna's writing and charisma on Today. Their rapport had always been easy, their public personas anchored in kindness. No one expected fireworks between them, least of all on national television. Now the networks are scrambling. Kelly's producers are reportedly debating whether the footage can be salvaged. Do they air a heavily edited version, stripped of conflict, or do they bury the episode entirely? For NBC, which relies on Jenna's presence as part of its Today brand, the incident raises uncomfortable questions. While there is no indication her role on Today is in jeopardy, being shown the door on another network stage is not the kind of headline a morning show co-host wants attached to her name. Neither woman has yet spoken publicly about the confrontation. Their silence has only stoked the flames, leaving gossip sites and entertainment shows to fill the void with rumor and speculation. Some portray Jenna as combative. Others paint Kelly as overly sensitive. Without their voices, the narrative spins freely, every retelling more dramatic than the last. But beyond the gossip, something deeper resonates. This was not just a spat between two celebrities. It was a clash of worldviews, a collision of lived experiences. Kelly embodies the narrative of emotional openness, of letting the world see the scars and struggles that come with life in the spotlight. Jenna represents privilege, yes, but also a perspective shaped by political legacy, resources, and an upbringing few can imagine. When those two worlds collided on that stage, it was more than personal. It was symbolic. Cultural critics have been quick to point out the bigger picture. To some, The confrontation mirrors societal tensions about privilege and authenticity. Who gets to claim hardship and who gets to call it out? Others note the gendered double standard. Had two male celebrities argued on set, would it have been treated as a scandal? Or would it have been brushed aside as a spirited debate? The intensity of the reaction itself says something about how audiences view women in positions of power and visibility. Meanwhile, the entertainment industry is buzzing. Kathie Lee Gifford reportedly offered words of kindness toward Jenna, defending her sincerity. Clarkson's fans have flooded her social media with messages of support, praising her grace under pressure. Insiders, however, remain split. Some insist the altercation has been exaggerated for headlines, while others believe it revealed a genuine fault line between two high-profile women who could no longer contain their differences. For Jenna, the road ahead is tricky. Public relations experts warn that silence may not be an option. To move past the controversy, she may need to address it directly, leaning on the same warmth and authenticity that have defined her public image. A candid acknowledgement, free of defensiveness, could help repair any damage. For Kelly, the incident may paradoxically strengthen her brand. Known for her resilience, her ability to weather storms, and her down-to-earth charm, she could emerge from this even more beloved. Some predict ratings for her show may even rise, driven by viewers curious to see how she navigates adversity. What no one doubts is that the confrontation has already cemented itself as a pop culture flashpoint. Clips, some leaked, others described secondhand, have been dissected online. Memes have circulated. Debates rage in comment sections. Everyone has an opinion, and everyone seems to be watching. What began as a conversation about the struggles of balancing career and family has exploded into a spectacle, a reminder of how fragile the carefully staged harmony of daytime television can be. In a world where celebrity personas are curated to perfection, the sight of two women colliding so openly is riveting, uncomfortable, and unforgettable. The ending remains unwritten. Will Jenna and Kelly reconcile publicly, trading forgiveness for ratings gold? Will they stay silent, hoping the storm passes? Or will this moment define their relationship, and perhaps their careers, for years to come? Whatever the outcome, the image lingers. Two women, two perspectives, one brightly lit stage, and an audience caught between gasps and whispers, watching as the unthinkable unfolded before their eyes.